Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Spiral. And this is the new Saw sequel, or it was originally called Spiral from the book of Saw. And this film takes place into the future. I guess, to right off the bat, I should probably put this out here. I have seen one Saw film, the very first one. I did not like it. This kind of torture porn, obnoxiously gory kind of horror is not my thing. And Rob Zombie, not my thing. Saw, not my thing. I'm a huge fan of James Wan as a director, and I love The Conjuring and Insidious, and they got the idea of Saw from the end of Mad Max. It's like, you get through that, the shekels with that hacksaw in 10 minutes. Maybe if you're lucky, you get it through your ankle, 5. And that idea sparked this torturous, gory, and just undesirable kind of films that really do not work for me. So I was hesitant going into this film, but I was excited because of Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, and what I felt like this film could be more than just a bunch of torture porn. Which, right off the bat, there's definitely some of that. And at times it is gratuitous, and other times there's some restraint. I felt the restraint worked better. Building tension is the goal. You don't need to show everything to build tension. And on the contrary, you could build a lot of tension without sharing everything. You have that sense of what's going on. You have that suspense. You can work with that. These films are way too blunt in the way that it works. And with director Darren Lynn Bousman, who has done other Saw films and like Repo, the Genetic Opera, and stuff like that, this film is directed in a very interesting way. And there's moments that you have where it's like, grr, grr, and you're just like, what's going on here? And it's so obnoxious, and it takes you out of the film, and it feels like shock filmmaking, and it didn't work for me. And there's other times where it feels crisp and well framed and intense and suspenseful. When this film is more of a police thriller, crime thriller, it works so much better than when it leans so heavily into that torture porn kind of horror. And this film goes for something different than a Saw film, and it achieves that. You have this mystery. And by the end of the film, from what I can tell, a lot of people saw this coming like a mile away. And when you think about the details of it, yeah, I guess it does. But for me, I was along with this mystery, and I was engrossed, I was in it. And when it was focusing on the procedural and Chris Rock's character, who has layers and has history and has intensity, those were the best parts of this film. There's definitely moments where they overshow, they edit in scenes of like, hey, here's that clue. If you remember it, that was obnoxious, it was overdone. But when this film wasn't trying to beat you over the head with certain things, there was enough finesse and craft in the story and the acting and the storytelling that really worked. And this is definitely, if I see more Saw films like this, I will see more Saw films. But so honestly for me, if they keep making more crime, thriller, detective-driven Saw films where they sporadically throw in some of those really gory and just really intense, torturous kinds of scenes, I think that would work better. Because honestly, towards the beginning of the film, this started this very basic kind of pattern in terms of how things were going. But as the film went on, they used a little more discretion with how they showed certain things going on in terms of this. And honestly, it built into building the mystery and turned into some narrative decisions too. And I thought that worked really well. And there's definitely some moments where it's like, yeah, like some of these things could be a bit predictable or cliched. And like Samuel L. Jackson is Samuel L. Jackson in this film, and it definitely tries to hit on some big themes in terms of social commentary on the police system. And I feel like the film really worked there in what it was doing and how this all got set up. And boy, will this film leave you off on a zinger at the end. And you're sitting here, I'm saying, as a person who does not like the Saw franchise, Spiral is something that actually got my attention and was going to bring me in and made me actually want to see more of these films. So, congrats. Chris Rock achieved what he wanted to do in terms of creating this Saw film, and it definitely has somebody like me and probably others that are willing to give more of an effort into seeing these films instead of just gratuitous, just torture porn for 90 minutes. But these are my thoughts on Spiral. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.